Welcome to Daybreak Plus. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Snowy Wednesday
let's
morning.
see. We do have Matt here.
There he is.
We also have a very finicky camera, so we'll just go right by that. Good morning. Yeah, welcome to Daybreak Plus on a really tricky day. Slushy, slippery roads that we've had out there, and it's just been, really tricky. So
I was coming in about 3:15 or so this morning, and it was slippery.
yeah,
It's gotten better, I think, but it was slippery.
that's what it is. So we do have a couple people out on the roads. I'm not seeing their shots up yet. So we're going to be able to show you what's happening out there. David Horak is going to join us here as soon as he's ready. And then we have a photographer driving around as well. But yeah, it's just one of those mornings, Matt, where...
I'm going to pick up where George left off. I came in around 2:30-ish, a little bit before that, and I shoveled a little bit of snow. I would say it's about 3 inches at my house. And it's that type of snow. It's so heavy, just really compacts. And I couldn't believe how heavy it was. So I did like one strip of the driveway just to see, I always like to see when I get home how much more snow fell. And really, that was about it. I think we got a quick 3.5 inches at my house. And then we saw warmer temperatures move in and actually transition over to a little bit of rain, which you can see right now. There's a culprit, the area of low pressure right there. And the heaviest snow is now shifted east of us. We're not quite done with it yet. You could see with that trough off to the west of us, that's really a cold front. That's going to be moving in about mid-morning, and it's going to bring that area of snow that you currently see to our north up around the Traverse City, Cadillac area. It's going to swing through this morning as temperatures fall into the upper 20s, near 30 degrees. But the road conditions are improving dramatically. There's still a lot of crashes out there, but compared to when George and I went to work this morning, I mean, when I was going down 196, it was solid snow. And I was doing this, and that doesn't happen very often. But with milder temperatures, plows out in full force and putting down salt, we're going to just see wet roads and slop, and the slop that forms on the side. Wind's going to go up this afternoon. It's going to shift out of the northwest, and that is going to bring down our temperatures, especially those wind chill temperatures.
So it's just been a tricky start to the day. It's no fun, right?
Yeah, it's a challenge. The good news is it looks like later today the commute will be much better unless you're right at the lakeshore where there's some lake effect.
Well, we have David Horak now. He's ready. He's out. He's been keeping an eye on the Ford Freeway for us all morning, and it looks like pretty drizzly where you're at, David.
Yeah, it's tricky also at the same time, and it's that kind of not snow at this point. I was about catching myself here. It's
She's
just
at Kirkwood's
nasty.
Corner.
I don't know how else to describe it, because this morning, when you really look at it, everything kind of varies in terms of the conditions on the roads. We go down to 196 here. It is wet, just wet. You got the drizzle adding more to the streams of water that are flowing to storm drains and whatnot. So pooling and ponding are going to be your problems on those more popular roads and highways like 196, like 131, like 96. And even in downtown Grand Rapids, as example, Michigan Avenue over by Medical Mile, there were so many spots of standing water that if somebody was ill-advisingly going fast around it, they're going to splash somebody walking to work along that area. And so, whereas the side streets, to kind of add to George's commute this morning, mine also was very tricky to the point that I couldn't go into work on my normal commute. I had to go a different way because sadly I have front wheel drive, and going in couldn't even get up a hill, and I barely got up the driveway into the station. And so those plows and salt trucks on that note are working overtime, and thankfully we're at that point where all they got to worry about is making sure that those streets and side roads, residential streets that are not as busy, are getting the treatment they need. Because again, Teresa, George, it's messy, and I think tricky again is the nicest, most applicable term for this morning commute, given this crazy weather system we've had over the last few hours. Thanks. Sounds good.
Part of the day. You can see the transition over to some light snow. I think, again, we're going to get a quick little burst around mid-morning to right around the noon hour from north to south, and that will put down about an inch or two, it looks like, and then just a transition to full lake effect by sunset right along the lakeshore. So I would say if you have travel plans from about Zealand south right along 196, could be a little dicey at that point, but most of the lake effect should be fairly light tonight. I would say 1 to 2 inches maybe in some locales, not much. And then tomorrow, pretty tame day. Additional snow today, as I mentioned, about 1 to 3 inches. The bulk of the accumulating snow has already occurred. And that, again, was mostly from Grand Rapids northward. We're just now starting to get reports in. And they're pretty consistent. They're around 2 to 4 inches in many areas. But it's that heavy, wet snow, and I am not looking forward to. You know what? I should text my son right now to
Get him out there. Start shoveling.
Yeah.
Because the snow blower doesn't really work. When
Yeah,
it's
I just got the piece to fix it.
But it still
yesterday.
doesn't work well, right?
Not when it's
I don't
actually that's
usually-
what broke it is
Yeah,
the
you
previous
don't
real
wanna-
heavy snow. Yeah, you know how the plows come in and throw all that snow in your end of your driveway, and I understand why that happens. But I was trying to get my snow blower through. I was like, and, well, not smart, Matt. So broke a piece off of that. Anyway, we go forward to right through Thursday, some light lake effect. Another system actually misses us to the south during the day on Friday, but you can see Friday evening, Saturday is when I think we'll get the next round of accumulating snow after today. And I don't know how much yet. I would say about 1 to 4 inches at this point, and it will be lake enhanced. So that's the next time. I think Saturday morning, many of us will be shoveling once again. And that system's going to draw down even colder air. So mid-20s for Thursday and Friday, then teens, it looks like, during the afternoon on Saturday and Sunday. One of the forecast models are coming in warmer for Sunday, Monday, so we'll see if that happens. But the warmer temperatures will start arriving mid-part of next week, and we may very well go well above the freezing mark by next Wednesday. So if you enjoy the snow, this is going to be a good weekend for you snow lovers out there, and I'll have a full report coming up tomorrow when I do my snow sports report. Here's a look. This is interesting to me. This is the 18th through the 24th, leading up to Christmas, the week before Christmas. Holy cow, look at out west.
Wow.
Yeah. We're still around average here in southwest lower Michigan. So, yeah, I still think we're going to have a white Christmas, but there's a lot of areas west of us who will not be having a white Christmas. So we'll see. Wouldn't that be something to have one of the coldest starts of December and not get a white Christmas?
It would be maddening, in fact.
That would be not a happy camper.
I don't know anybody who would be happy about that. No, I'm sure there's somebody who would be happy about that.
Oh, there's someone out there, I'm sure.
I don't know them.
Right.
Okay, well, thanks, Matt.
Sure.
We appreciate
Been a
it.
busy morning for Matt.
It
Yeah.
has been a busy
Been
A few
morning.
more gray hairs.
Extra time.
You probably have some more to get to since we've got our updates coming
Yeah.
up. Well, thanks for sharing all of that with us, and it was good to see what David was seeing out on
Yeah, sure was.
too. So we have the rundown to get to still ahead.
Stay with us.
too. And we're back to Daybreak Plus on a Monday morning. We appreciate you hanging out with us here in the Wood TV Plus studio as we keep an eye on the day's headlines, which
Yes.
starts with this case that's supposed to be back in court today.
This involves this woman, Irene Whitehead, who is facing first-degree murder and child abuse charges in her child's death. And there was a development involving a case a couple of years ago.
So recently, her 2-year-old daughter died, and police determined that she smothered her to death. But the thing is, when they were talking to her, she admitted to killing Riley, her daughter, and her son Leo, who was 2 months old when he died. So what we have now, though, is this incident report from a couple years ago when an Algoma Township firefighter responded to the home because there was a report of a child not breathing, and it was Riley, who was 4 months old at the time.
Right.
And the reason, he said at the time that he was suspicious because in that same home, Leo had died 18 months prior to this call. So he got the police involved even a couple years ago because he was suspicious.
This was back in October of 2023, and he had gone over for a report of a trouble breathing complaint, and that's what led to his suspicion and report from there.
So she doesn't face charges at this time in Leo's death, but when police arrested her, they said, "We're arresting you for the murders of Leo and Riley," but the prosecutor so far has only charged in Riley's death. So we'll let you know what happens in this court hearing today. Firefighters I want to talk about Fisherman's Landing first.
Oh, yes.
Because there was this meeting last night about Fisherman's Landing in Muskegon and a land swap deal, and commissioners approved the deal.
Yep, they're going to close the campground and redevelop the site. There were a lot of people who weighed in on this. They ultimately voted 4-2 to pass this land deal. So the space will go to the Mart Dock for boat launch and storage.
In exchange, they get 2.5 acres from Mart Dock that they'll use along the lake to make a green space for the public to use. Firefighters, this story, we showed you this video when this happened. This house caught fire. Firefighters responded. What we didn't know at the time was there were only 2 firefighters in Muskegon.
They were the only 2 available.
Only 2 available. And this happens more frequently than most people realize. And they just talked about the tough decisions that it forces them to make when
a crew arriving with 2 personnel, knowing that there's the chance of somebody inside of a burning structure and having to make the decision of what do I do? Because you can go in alone, which is against every established safety hazard that there is, or you can sit and wait. And we are the type of people that are going to do what we can to get the job done, no matter what the circumstances and no matter what risk it puts us at. And our members have made that decision multiple times.
So the issue here is they just don't have enough firefighters on staff.
A neighbor actually helped connect the hose and ran it up to the front door. I mean, that's how
Basically became
dire
a
the
volunteer
situation
firefighter
was.
for the day.
Right.
So the concern there, obviously that, was a tough situation, but it's not just fire calls. It's if they get a water rescue.
Medical calls, water rescues.
It makes those responses not as good. And even worse if they get those all calls at the same time or one right after the other. So they're, making this push for more firefighters because they just need help. Want to update you on a vote in Zeeland that happened on this week where they wanted to look at plans for solar farms in the area. Well, a lot of people showed up to that meeting. 200
people at last night's meeting. Most were opposed to this solar farm. A lot of them are concerned about preserving farmland, their safety concerns, and property devaluation concerns.
Someone with the solar project company also was there and pointed out that they don't own any of the land where they do these projects. It's farmers who own the land, and that it's up to them to do with their land what they want. That was kind of his point in the debate. But for now, they're taking their time in Zeeland. Council members are going to keep looking over those plans. They're not making any decisions yet.
And they'll report back to the township board there down the line.
In Muskegon, we've been following an investigation into a man's murder. He was in his 70s, and we have an update on that case.
Yes, a 16-year-old. Police arrested a 16-year-old Kamari Davis, charged with killing Thomas Stewart, who was 73 years old. There was a shooting at Stewart's home, and the investigators believe they knew each other and robbery was the intent.
Someone let Kamari Davis into that home, and then the shooting happened. So that's the update on that case. Okay, we have a few celebrity birthdays and an interesting tidbit on something that happened on this day in the 1800s in Michigan.
You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Daybreak Plus here in the Wood TV Plus studio. It's birthday time. We have 3,
Okay.
and we're going to start with
Joe Burrow,
Joe Burrow.
Cincinnati Bengals
Hoo-day.
quarterback. Looks like he's playing a little snow there, doesn't it?
It does. It's
Just
always fun when they're
29 years
playing.
old.
He's a baby.
Youngster.
Happy birthday, though, to him.
Yep.
This one makes me feel old just because I remember
I
being a kid.
know exactly
and
what you're
watching
saying.
her.
I can relate.
Raven Simone.
40 years old today.
That's so Raven.
And the Cosby Show.
And well, yeah, that's first.
You know, and man, I watch those shows.
She's still on TV.
Does that age me? I
Now
think it
she's got
does.
kids on TV.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
Well, I actually don't know if her children are on TV, but she plays someone who has kids on TV. Anyway, let's head to the kitchen.
Chef Bobby Flay, 61 years old, a New York City guy, Brooklyn, New York.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's why.
You know, I
that's why you picked
love
him.
Beat Bobby Flay. That's one of my favorite TV shows.
That is a great one.
He beats everybody.
Well, of course he does.
Like 80% of the time, it seems like he wins.
It
He can cook anything.
would be fun to go up against him, though. In that
It'd be fun
show.
to eat his food, too.
I would volunteer just to be the taste tester.
Just-
No problem.
I'd
I don't
like to
need
be a judge.
I don't need to compete against
Yeah,
you.
just let me be a judge.
So on this day in Michigan history, this is kind of morbid, but it's interesting, was the first cremation in Michigan, and it happened at the Detroit Crematorium.
That's right. That was the first crematorium in the state of Michigan. Mm-hmm. This is back in 1887.
Okay, this photo is not my favorite.
Doesn't speak to you.
Not really. Oh, now I just screwed up our next thing. Tell me about this place, George.
All I know is that this was the Detroit Crematorium. I believe it was the first facility in Michigan and the 5th in the United States, if I remember my facts correctly.
Do you remember your facts correctly?
I'm pretty sure. I
Here's a
do.
better view
There
of
you
the
go.
Detroit Crematorium. So they opened, and by this day in December, they were able to do their first cremation. That's what it looked like. Small operation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think what we're going to do. What do you want to do?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
We got a little bit more coming. Don't go away
Yeah,
just yet.
we'll be right back. Okay, we're back to Daybreak Plus, and we're kind of towards the end of the show here. We're on to the last word.
The last word of today.
I'm sorry, we're so blurry. I don't know. That's very blurry. What if we do this?
Don't adjust.
That did not
Didn't do it.
fix it. There we go. Fixed it. Okay, I'm
Look
sorry.
at that.
I could not let that stand.
No.
So
It's television after all, isn't
it
it?
is. We want to make it look good. So there's this med student at the MSU College of Human Medicine. She's a first-year med student, and she is not living in a dorm or housing. Like, she's not living with people her own age.
She's living in a senior community
Mm-hmm.
with some people who have dementia, others don't, but she is studying that because she wants to work with people who are suffering from dementia when she gets out of school.
And it's a partnership between the school and the Dementia Institute. So it's interesting, though, what she's doing. And we got the chance to talk to her a little bit about what she's learned so far. She said she's learned quite a lot.
Sometimes they have good days and some days there's harder days, and it's how can we make the good days even better and those harder days a little bit easier.
Any textbook cannot teach you how to communicate the knowledge, and by being here she can actually talk to the people and in a real world experience see how that communication that she can do better and better to be an effective communicator.
So she's going to continue living there for the rest of the year, and then once she's done, they will pick a different person to do this. They'll have another med student who does this next year, but for now, yeah, she's there. So,
Yes, Kaylin Burton's her name, 23 years old. She's the youngest resident, obviously, over there at the Holland Home Raybrook campus in Grand Rapids.
I think that would be so interesting. It has to be so good for the people living there, too. I mean, to have someone like that who is interacting with them, not because she's caring for them on that, medical level, and just, especially if you don't have grandparents who are alive, and even if you do, not everyone's dealing with different issues, right? So it's just kind of neat.
I was reading
love
the
the
story
idea.
that's on our website right now, and basically residents said that they enjoy having her, that she's an inspiration to them, and so clearly it's worthwhile on both sides.
Yeah. I know, like, loneliness. We talked about loneliness a couple of
Yesterday.
days ago.
Or, 2 days ago.
And when you're in that environment, even though you're around other residents, sometimes you're not getting that kind of interaction. So it's cool. I'll be interested to talk to her at the end of this year,
Yes.
see what all she's learned. We should follow up.
Good experience for her and prepping for her career down the line.
So that's it for us.
All right. A wet, wild, wintry Wednesday.
Slushy, man. Although I
Yeah.
think it's a little bit better now. But, it's
Hopefully.
going to be tricky later today when we get the lake effect snow
That's
on
true.
top of the wet
We're not
roads.
done with the snow just yet.
Not yet. Probably not for a while. Hey, thanks for watching.
Have a good day.